Good morning. Hello. It's time for some yoga this morning. I'm going to plug in my headset so that people can hear me. And I want to share the live stream to my actual page so that you know where to find me. Okay. But I wanted to log on here real quick. Of course, my other phone is giving me issues. I'm waiting for the live stream to show up on my phone so I can share it. Okay, I found it. I'm waiting for the live stream to show up on my phone. Okay, y'all, hold on. I'm almost done. I'm gonna have to try to think of a faster, easier way to do this next time. Okay. All right, I think, oops. Paste. Okay. Because I'm in the shade. Okay, y'all, good morning. My name is Kina, owner of Rougie Wellness. And this is outdoor yoga. It's morning outdoor yoga. So these classes will be taking place. They're live in-person classes, and then I'm also live stream recording them so that people who wanted to join but cannot join for whatever reason still can have access to these classes. I get asked about hosting yoga classes in person, and so this class takes place on the east side at McPike Park at 7 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday from today, June the 11th, until July the 7th. I want to say July the 7th till July 9th. And I was originally going to do July 2nd, so we're going to see if the 2nd or the 9th, but I think it's going to be the July the 9th will be the last day for this particular series that we're doing. Okay? So this is an asana practice. Basically, the layout for these classes will go like this. We'll do a little talk at the beginning of like 5 minutes. After our beginning talk, we'll go into an asana practice. And then at the end, we'll do 10 minutes in Shavasana or 10 minutes in core or 10 minutes in lower body. Okay? For strengthening or resistance training. If people have resistance bands, then maybe we'll do that, okay? So that is the layout. So for today, the little 5-minute talk that I wanted to do is, and I mean there's nobody here right now, so I'm not really teaching anybody in person. I'm really only dedicating my attention to the online video. And it's actually been like a very long time since I have taught in person. I've been teaching virtual, so I don't even know if I remember how to teach in person anymore. The talk I wanted to talk about today, the discussion or the idea, the energy, the theme for today's discussion is the yoga yama Asteya, which means non-stealing. And I think I wanted to talk about non-stealing because a lot of times when we think of non-stealing or when we think of stealing, usually we think of stealing in the sense or in the idea of something that's physical, material. Um, in yoga, we think of stealing in other ways, like stealing of time, um, stealing of energy. Okay, and so to me, I feel like if somebody, like whenever I get a phone call, let's say I get a phone call from a telemarketer. This is a real story. If I get a phone call from a telemarketer and the telemarketer is like, becomes quite, I don't know, rude with me, or a customer service representative, right? To where I'm calling to resolve an issue and the customer service representative, wants to argue with me instead of work for resolution. I consider that stealing in the sense of stealing of energy because it didn't have to be like that. You did, like they didn't have to call and be confrontational about resolving an issue, but that's what they chose, and that was the energy that they welcomed with, right? And so that's a form of stealing of energy and also time, right? Because they could have the right person could have been in that position. That was not the right person to do that particular job. Good morning. I think somebody's here. I can't tell who's here, but good morning. Um, so sometimes we might not be the right person to do a job, right? And so us not being the right person to do that is us stealing of time or stealing of somebody else's energy because it's so selfish to not say, oh, you know what, I'm not the best person for this job. I'm not the best person to do that. Can we even recognize that in ourselves, right? The things that we should be, the things that we're, that we're good at doing, the things that are energetic matches for us versus the things that are not. Do we have enough care and compassion for ourselves to say, you know what, this is not a good match for me, I'm going to step away? Or do we want to just like try to force everything to be the way that we think it should be or the way that it is, or I don't know. But I don't know. The customer service agent is a idea that I, something that I thought about. I'm gonna let this plane go by. I don't know if y'all can hear it. Okay. Wow. I'm not about to compete with the plane, right? That would be a stealing of my own energy, right? Um, because I know that the plane is louder than me. So, anywho, when you think about stealing, can you think about it in the terms of energy? Can you recognize if your energy is being stolen? And can you also recognize if you're stealing someone else's energy? And the same thing goes with time, okay? And that's thinking of Asteya. All right, so I don't know who's here, but good morning. So let's go into our asana practice. I don't know if I'm going to do this right here anymore. I'm kind of distracted. It's too many things happening. I don't think I'm gonna do it right here anymore, or else maybe I'll do it with the camera this way because I'm too distracted with all the stuff behind me. All right, so let's do our asana practice. Asana is pose. So this is where we go into our practice of the poses. Oh yeah, that's why I didn't want to do it this way, the sun. Look, this is my first time doing it right here, and so I'm learning and adapting. And I'm also trying to offer to everyone else. Okay, so go ahead and find your way onto your mat if you're not already there, or if even if you weren't planning on going to your mat, go to your mat. Um, or your towel, or your blanket, or your floor area, or your chair. I don't know. whatever works for you. And find your way into a comfortable position. With your hands on your legs, go ahead and place your palms to the tops of the thighs so that you can create an energetic seal of energy here, closing your meridians, closing your energetic channels to have the energy, your so important energy, to harness it and circulate it through the body. Inhale here through the nose. Allow expansion in the belly, the rib cage, the lungs, the shoulders as you breathe in. Exhale, let it out. Take another breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, send it out. One more time. Inhale through the nose, expansion in the belly. Exhale, send it out. Inhale here, both hands lift up and overhead. On your exhale, both hands to the knee, right hand to the knee, left hand reaches behind the back. Look over your shoulder behind you, lift your chest tall. Good, breathe in through the nose as you lift yourself a little taller. Exhale to twist over that left shoulder. Good, inhale here, lift your chest tall. Exhale, twist behind your shoulder, twist over your shoulder. Good, take one more time. Inhale here to lift. Exhale to twist. On your inhale, lift both hands up and unwind. Good, on the exhale, let the left hand find the right knee. Right hand reaches behind the back. Inhale, lift chest tall. Exhale into your twist. Inhale, lift chest tall. Expansion in the belly. Exhale for the twist. One more. Inhale for the lift. Exhale for the twist. Inhale, both hands to the sky. Exhale, hands to the knees. Inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky once again. This time bow forward, reaching ahead of you. So maybe you're reaching forward. Maybe your forward reach comes, just about, here. I don't care if you're leaning forward here or if you're leaning all the way to the earth. What I care about is your spine. So as your hands lift, lifting your spine tall, shining your heart forward, pressing your sit bone into the mat. Breathe in. On the exhale, bow forward to whatever the degree your expression looks like. And it could be here, it could be any place in that spectrum. And maybe eventually or not, your hands find the earth. And if you bow forward all the way to the earth, can you still lift your heart, shine your chest through? Good. To find more length in your heart space, and a little bit, and you'll also will have a little bit more lift in the back. Okay? So we're not rounding our forehead to the earth here for this particular stretch. Good. Walk your hands back towards your thighs. So if you're in a cross-legged position, note which leg is on top. So for me, it's my left leg, probably because I'm left-handed. We're going to switch legs. So if your left leg is on top, you're going to go ahead and take your right leg to be the one on top, okay? Crossing the legs. This is a hip stretch, okay? So inhale, sweep the hands up to the sky. And then on your exhale, go ahead and bow forward, keeping the spine long and lifted. Keeping it lifted as you bow forward. And again, maybe the hands touch the earth. Maybe they don't. Maybe you stay lifted here. Stretching those hips. Press your root into the earth beneath you. Good. And then walk your hands back towards your body. Inhale, sweep the hands up to the sky. Exhale, place the palms to the legs. The breath is very important here, more important really than the poses. The breath is what gives you access as you navigate through each of your asana poses. It's the breath. The inhale creates the length in the space. The exhale gives you room to bend without breaking. Okay? So from here, go ahead and find your way to your hands and knees. We'll move through a few cat-cows to continue to wake up the spine. Palms on the earth, just underneath your shoulders. Your knees just underneath your hips. As you inhale through the nose, lift the chin to the sky, lower the belly, let the belly move towards the mat. As you exhale, chin to chest, round the spine. When you're rounding the spine, your shoulders are working their way. Each shoulder is pressing down towards the mat. Inhale, lift the belly up. The chest, lift up the chin. Good. Exhale to the rounding of the back. Good. Inhale. Belly drops down, chin lifts. Feel the breeze. Exhale, tuck your pelvic bones under. Chin to chest, palms into the mat. Good. And then find your neutral spine. Maybe you take some side to side movements here, giving your side body a little bit of movement. Maybe it becomes round. Maybe you take some circles here. Kind of just feeling into your hips and your shoulders and your side body to see what you need in this moment. And maybe that's different from the last time that you did a cat-cow, or maybe next time you do cat-cow, you might need something different, okay? From here, curl your toes under, beneath your, behind you, curl your toes under. Untuck your toes, curl them under, or tuck them. We're gonna lift just a few inches off the mat right here. Press palms into mat, lifting the knees a few inches. On your exhale, lower down. This time, tuck your toes, untuck your toes, blah, 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 so that the tops of your feet press into the mat. We're gonna stretch out the ankles. Press your tops of your feet into the mat, lift your knees. Good. Breathe here, take one more breath. Exhale, lower down to the mat, into your cow pose. Good. From here, go ahead and curl the toes under, and then we lift ourselves up. Keep the knees bent. Keep your knees bent, and then just slowly start to lengthen your knees very gently, okay? So if your hamstrings are not awake yet, don't rush into lengthening your legs. Keep them bent. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna have to move the camera. Okay, so keep your knees bent here first, and then take your time paddling one knee at a time. Good. One knee bends while the other leg lengthens. Take your time, one at a time, stretching out the hamstrings. Now we're gonna refine a little bit here. So as you're taking your knee to knee bending, your leg to leg stretching, the pedaling, I want you to, with your hands while you're pressing into the mat, lengthen your arms, press back so that you press your booty towards the sky. Bring your head a little bit in between the arms, okay? So if that means your knees bend more, then so be it. We're giving the back a little bit of space here. So let your knees bend. If your heels touch the ground, then they touch the ground. If they bend, if your knees bend, then they bend. Okay? Rotate your pelvic bone to the sky. If you're tucking your pelvic bone, if you're trying to rotate it down towards the earth, no. Lift your butt to the sun. Good. And lengthen your spine. If you're kind of in a plank type of position, press your shoulders back. Good. So that your head and your arms are parallel with one another. Okay? Bring your belly towards your thighs if you need to. And then from here, go ahead and walk your hands back towards your legs, into your forward fold. I'm going to move the camera a little bit. So you're in your forward fold. Stay here in your forward fold. And maybe the forward fold is not where your hands touch the ground. Bend your knees. Bend your knees in your forward fold. So in your forward fold, let your belly rest on your thighs. Let your knees bend. Tilt your pelvic bones to the sky. Lengthen your back. Let your arms hang. Okay? Again, the breath is important. Notice your breathing. Is your breathing restricted? Is it moving just fine without any issues through the body? Okay, so inhale, halfway lift here. So we're going to halfway lift. You're going to begin to lengthen your legs. Bring your hands to your thighs, just as though you were peering over the edge of a cliff, but trying not to fall off. Okay? So your legs straighten out. You press the butt back. Lengthen through the spine. Lift your chest as though there was a string that was like lifting the back of your chest so that your shoulder blades are back as well and your back is long. Peer over the edge of the cliff. Okay, lengthen your legs. Breathe in through the nose. Exhale, drop back down. And then once you feel a little bit of tension or if you begin to feel discomfort, that's when you're going to bend your knees, let the belly rest on the thighs to support you here, okay? To reach for the earth. Good, we're going to do that again. Inhale, halfway lift. When you halfway lift, squeeze your butt muscles, your glutes, to lift you that halfway, okay? All right, pressing into the bottoms of your feet so that your toes might even be able to lift, and the bridge of the feet support you, and the base of your bottoms of your feet. I can't get my words straight for there. Okay, so lengthen. Breathe in through the nose. Exhale, drop down. Bend your knees when you need to. Breathe it out. Inhale, lift and lengthen once again. Peering over the edge of the cliff. Palms can rest on the thighs. Toes are lifted off the mat. You're not pressing your weight into the tippy toes of your feet. You're rooted solidly in the base of your feet. Good. Shoulders back. Exhale, drop it down one more time. Let your palms touch the earth. Bend your knees. And then slowly bring yourself all the way up into a stand. We've been folded forward for quite a while. Stand yourself all the way up. Lift your hands to the sky. I'll get this camera stuff figured out eventually. Hands all the way up to the sky. Good, so when you reach the sky with a purpose and intention, okay? Don't just willy-nilly, I'm going to use Anita's word. Hey, Anita. Anita, my yoga teacher, one of my teachers, my Ayurveda teacher. Don't just reach up to the sky for no reason. When you're reaching up to the sky, what are you doing? Are you lifting yourself? Lift with a purpose and intention. Put a reason behind the lift. Lift yourself to the sun. Lift your fingers up to bring you closer to the sun, right? Your fingers to lengthen your spine. Exhale, palms to heart. Inhale, sweep the hands to the sky, reach for the sun. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, do your halfway lift. Exhale, drop it down. Use the breath. Using the breath creates, especially if you breathe into, like, let's say your hamstrings. Inhale, halfway lift. Can you use your breath to send oxygen to the hamstrings, to allow them to soften, to allow them to let go of the tension that they might be holding so that you can bend? Can you use your breath intentionally in that way? Inhale through the nose, expansion. Exhale, drop down, release. Release the tension. Release any expectations. Release of judgment. Release of doubt. Release of fear. What are you letting go of? Okay. So from here, we walk ourselves back down to our hands on the mat. Walk forward. Find your way into your downward dog again. If this is uncomfortable for you, we're going to go a little bit deeper into this right now so that it doesn't hold you back as we go through these next 13 classes, okay? Today and then all the way to July. So I know a lot of times downward dog is a place of frustration for a lot of people. I don't want it to be that, because I don't want you to avoid downward dog. I don't want you to be skipping it unless you just, that's your choice, right? But we're going to talk about it, okay? So, downward dog, downward facing dog. All right, here's how we're going to rock into this. So first, we're going to start with our hand placement. So when you're in downward dog, your index fingers are the leader. That's what's guiding you. So your index finger to the mat is going to be facing the top, okay? Index finger points to the top of the mat or your surface that you're practicing on. I'm trying to see if y'all can see. I can't tell. Okay, hopefully that's it. All right. Index finger up top. All right. From there, the rest of your fingers spread outwards from the index finger. Think Spider-Man. Spider-Man grip onto the mat. Peter Parker. Okay. So when Peter Parker, and it's not because I'm best friends with Spider-Man, okay? But what I'm telling you is that the pads of the fingertips are gripping the mat. Your like your middle your base of the palm right here is gripping the mat. And then also the base of your hand, okay? And don't forget your thumb pad. Those are your contact points in downward facing dog. That's you're going to create your Spider-Man grip, fingertips with your index finger pointing forward. That's your foundation, okay? From there, your elbows are very important. So bend your elbows, bend them like a push-up type of a bend. I'll face this way. So you bend your elbows. This is not what you want for downward dog. Let your elbows become long, and then you're going to rotate them inwards. So notice the inward part of the elbow rotates, okay? So this is going to create pain in your wrist. If you're here, it's going to make your arms hurt here and probably your shoulders. We don't want any of that. We want a solid foundation, okay? We're taking care of our bodies by creating a solid foundation. Our mind, solid foundation. All right, energy. We don't want to steal energy from our wrist by not being properly aligned, okay? Or aligned in a way that's gonna enhance our practice. So, fingertips to the front of the mat, Spider-Man grip, elbows rotating inwards, okay? That's going to bring your armpits close to your body, okay? armpits in, and your elbows are going to be basically pointing to the back of the mat. Okay, this part to the back. All right, so there we go. So now I got fingers, elbows, boom. Shoulder placement. Our shoulders are going to go, our head comes by our shoulders. Okay? Downward dog is about creating as much length in your side body as possible. So you're really lengthening in your downward facing dog. Whether you're on your hands and knees for like moving to child's pose or on your feet, it's the length in the back that we're working for. That creates the rest of the spaciousness, okay? So aim to bring your head, but closer to your parallel to your arms. You're not looking up above. Your head is down, parallel to your arms. Okay. From here, your shoulder blades are gonna be in their sockets. Okay. So if you are trying to get your shoulders, if you're rounding your back, you're gonna create pain in your shoulders. So you want to keep your shoulder blades, not only do you want to press back, but you also want to, get your shoulder blades in the socket. Bring your shoulders down into themselves. Don't push away from the shoulders, okay? Rotate your pelvic bone to the sky. And then let your heels do what they need to do. If they need to bend, let them bend. If they need to lengthen, let them lengthen. Listen, if you're solid here in your downward facing dog, you can literally sit here all day long, okay? You can sit here all day long, breathe here all day long without pain. If something in your practice is causing you pain, let me know and let's talk about it, okay? DM me or put a thing in the chat and then we can go into it like this. I hope this was helpful. Downward dog is a pose that we often work into in almost every practice, but we don't have to. But I like to go into downward dog. So I think it's very foundational that we have that we're confident when we step into downward facing dog. Even if confident versus liking to go into it are two different things, right? Okay. Downward facing dog. That's my workshop pose of the practice today. Let's see here. We're gonna go about 5 more minutes. Trust and believe that if you were practicing downward dog with me, then you are definitely getting some hamstring work. All right, so from here, go ahead and bring your right knee to your chest, and then press back onto your left heel. All right, and so I just want to play around here with, since we were workshopping downward facing dog, just see if you can bring your right knee up, round it up and back. So the whole time the left heel is working towards the mat or it's bending, your choice. Right knee, right toes point, right knee tucks into the chest. Just see what that feels like if you bring your right knee up, open it out like a fire hydrant, and then bring it back in. Good, and then we'll do that again. Open it up, and then bring it back in. Good, right knee lifts, this time to the sky. Bring it back in. Right knee lifts to the sky once again. Maybe this time you lengthen your right leg. On your exhale, step your right foot all the way through. Slowly pull the knee to the chest and then step it down. Now, let's see here. So you might need to guide your leg through with your hand, and if you need to do so, that's perfectly okay. You might want to drop your knee to the mat because it might just be a little bit intense, right? So drop your knee down if you need to. All right. From here, wherever you are, we're going to open the right hand to the sky for this twist. Right hand opens to the sky. Breathe in to create the space. Exhale. Take your right hand to the mat. Inhale here. We bring our hands to our right knee. Good. To lift the chest. to the sky. Let me lift my camera. Good. So we lift our chest. Untuck your left toes. Good. So you lift your hand, you lift your chest up here. And we'll take 3 breaths. With each inhale, breathe in through the nose. Find your expansion. As you exhale, find your softening. Soften down. Down and forward. Good. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, soften down and forward. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, soften down and forward, pulling everything into the center to keep your balance. Good. Take one more inhale here. Lift the hands up and overhead. Reach with the purpose to the sun. Exhale, touch the earth. Good. Curl your left toes under. Lift your left knee. And then go ahead and press back, stretching out the right hamstring. All right, and so maybe your hands touch the earth. Maybe you lift your chest a little bit. See, I just invite you here to just see what feels good for the body, okay? So see if it feels better to come down. See if it feels better to lift. See if the dynamic movement from down and up feels good to you. Just explore, okay? There's nothing, I'm not offering anything technical here besides exploration. And then we'll do the other side. All right. So once we're wrapping up this side, take your right hip, press it towards the back of the room. Your left hip moves towards the front of the room. Lift your head, lift your spine. Maybe you're on fingertips, maybe you're on blocks. See what that feels like. All right, and then go ahead, place your palms flat to the mat, bend your knee, and then step it back into where we started from. Go ahead and keep your tucked knee. Open the tucked knee to the sky, keeping it tucked, and then bring it back down into your downward dog. Good. Take a child's pose here if you like. If you need a little reset in between sides. If your if your wrists are feeling a little bit sensitive from the new downward dog, if that's new for you, give them a rotation, okay? I don't know if y'all can see me. The shade. All right, bring yourself back up. Okay. Well, hopefully y'all see me. Okay, we're going to get to the other side. Go ahead and press up into your downward facing dog. Take a moment to take notice of if you feel any differences between your right leg and your left leg. Just notice if you feel anything different there. And then your right heel moves towards the earth. You tuck the left knee into your chest. Good. And maybe the right knee bends a little bit. Maybe the right heel bends or is not bent. We all have different bodies. From here, go ahead and take your open and closes, those fire hydrant-like actions, like you're aiming for a fire hydrant with your opening and closing of the knee. Keep the knee tucked in, keep your toe pointed, and then just rotating in the hips. Good. As you inhale, you open. As you exhale, soften. Good. Bring your knee in. Keep the knee pulling into the nose, and then step it through. And again, maybe the knee is lifted. Maybe you drop down on the right knee. Right or left hand opens to the sky, wherever you are. Take the left hand to the sky for your twist. Pulling the shoulder open, not hyperextending, but opening. And then place your left hand to the earth. Drop your right knee down. Untuck your right toes. Place the hands to the tops of your left knee. Good. Inhale through the nose. Breathe it in to lift the chest up to the sun. Exhale, sink down and forward. Good. Inhale through the nose. Lift. Exhale, sink down and forward. Take one more inhale for expansion. Exhale, find your way down and forward. Good. Softening. Use the exhale to create the softness in the body, the release. From here, inhale both hands to the sky, lifting towards the sun. Maybe a lift in gratitude. Exhale, touch the earth. Take a pause here. Curl the the right toes under. Lift your right knee off the mat. Good. We bring ourselves back to, we're going to lengthen. That's what we do. I'm going to skip that. All right. So in here, we're going to do the exploration. So see what it feels like to sink down into the softness. See how it feels to lift up, lengthening the spine. Exhale. So maybe you just stay down the whole time. Maybe you lift and lengthen. And again, maybe you take time navigating between both realms. Exploring with curiosity, not judgment. And when you're ready, go ahead and bring your palms both solid to the earth. Take your left hip towards the back of the room, move the right hip towards the front. Maybe energetically, maybe physically. Any energetic movement starts in the mind and then it eventually translates to physical. The capability, the possibility of the expression always exists, but it's really where can our mind take us? Let the palms soften into the earth, bend the left knee, take it back up to the sky. Maybe that left leg lengthens to the sky. Good. Maybe we do the fire hydrant movement. Left leg tucks into the belly, opens up, come back down, opens up, back down. Finally making your way into plank. Let's close our practice here with the plank. Or this part of our practice with the plank pose. Belly button pulls into the ribs. Firm the thighs. Squeeze your kneecaps. Good. Press away from you on the mat. Good. And then drop to your knees one at a time. Take a child's pose if you like. Let your forehead touch the earth if you like, or your chin. And then we'll move our way onto our backs. I think I'm running over a little bit. If you have time, then stay. And if you don't, then I'll do better next time. Okay, so find your way onto your back. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug. Point your toes. Press your lower back into the mat. Good. So from here, go ahead. I crossed my legs. If you did too, go ahead and unwind your legs. Pull them into the chest. Flex your feet. Roll those ankles. Okay? Press your feet towards the sky. And then bend your knees. Go ahead and grab the outsides of your feet. Happy baby. Take a couple of side-to-side movements. Press your low back into the mat here. And also press your knees like you're pressing them towards the earth. And take side-to-side movements. All right, and so in this happy baby pose, you're pressing your lower back into the mat. Press your shoulders into the mat. Take your side to sides. And then if you want, you can press your elbows into your knees so that you create a little bit more space in the hips as you take your side to sides. Okay? And then place your feet down onto the mat. Right leg lifts to the sky. Cross your right leg over the left. Take your arms out to a T shape. I'm not going to, but you can. And then we're going to cross to the left side. Right leg is on top. Let the legs fall to the left for your twist. Turn your head to the right side with your knees to the left. You take your T shape. You press your shoulders into the mat beneath you. Maybe you grab hold, you bring your hand to contact with the hip. Left hand to the hip, to the right hip. Press your right shoulder to the mat. Take 2 more breaths right here, in through the nose. On your exhale, soften your shoulder blades to the mat. Inhale through the nose. Exhale to soften. Good. Bring your knees back to center. Uncross your legs. Left leg lifts to the sky. Cross it over the right. And then we're going to let the right leg fall. Let the legs fall to the right side. Again, take a T shape with your hands. Turn your head over to the left. Press your left shoulder into the mat. Maybe you play around with creating field goal shape with your arms instead of T shape. See if that feels better. Maybe the right hand comes to the left hip. In through the nose. Breathe it out. Take it in through the nose again. Exhale it out. One more round. Lovely. Bring yourself back to center. Unwind your legs. Windshield wiper your knees side to side. Taking any movements, any final movements that serve you. Taking a moment to notice your body. Taking an inventory. Lengthen your legs out long to the earth beneath you. Let your palms rest on the mat. Palms face up or palms face down. Choose which intuitively feels right for you in this moment. Allow your shoulder blades to soften into the mat. Allow your eyes to close and tune into your breath. With curiosity, as you take your inhale, how much space can you find with your breath on your inhale? And then when you exhale, from how many of the spaces in your body can the exhale pull from to eliminate? Inhaling through the nose. Filling as many spaces as you can with this breath. Exhale it out in fullness. One more breath here. Inhaling through the nose, allowing the belly to rise, creating the expansion intentionally. And as you exhale, eliminating just as intentionally. From here, slowly, softly pull the knees into the chest. Give yourself a hug. Go ahead and softly find your way over to your right side, pausing here. And then press yourself up into a seat. As we close out today's practice, I invite you to be mindful of your energy, the energy that you take, the energy that you give. Being mindful and courageous enough to recognize when something is or isn't a good match for your energy. And then after that comes the further courage to decide what action steps to take, right? Whether you say, you know what, this is not a good energetic match for me, or this is stealing of my own energy, Asteya, or this is not. Just being mindful enough, just having the awareness gives you the tools to be able to make whatever decisions that you need to make from that moment. Thank you so much for practice today. Inhale through the nose. Let's take a collective breath together. And exhaling it out. Om Shanti. Peace, peace, peace to everyone, regardless of when or where you tune in to this class. I thank you. And I'll be back here on Monday. Hey, Carlina. I'll be back here on Monday at 7 a.m. with another practice. And we'll continue to work on our hamstrings and our hips. It'll still be full body, but this video is on YouTube. It'll be on YouTube and Facebook. I don't know if I'm going to put it on Instagram. But join me in person or here on live. All right? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a great day. Bye.